Oh yeah, I forget you're on Rumble too. Not that I'm not sure whether we get anybody on Rumble ever, but
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. All right. Well, welcome to the mic stand. Today is, of course, Sunday, May the 10th, 2026. Hopefully, everybody's having a good weekend thus far. Of course, it's our weekly look down comics history lane. And we'll get into that in a moment. Let's at least say hi to everybody. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Hey, Metal, look at that. Metal's here, and I know that was you responding to him.
yeah.
If you say so. All right. So, of course, as always, before we do get into and start talking about what's on tap for tonight, my co-host for the evening is Mr. Rick Piper,
Yo.
comics, and um, I'm going to give let him have the floor so where he can promote any project he's doing, promote his channel. Rick, I think you know the shtick, right?
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to go off camera here for a moment. So you just do your
Yeah.
thing, and I'll be right back.
Well, as it says, I am Rick Piper, creative Canadian Shield, founder and creator of Cross Comics. Well, of course, I've got my normal YouTube show and everything that's with that. And keep an eye out lately. We will be having a book up on Amazon Canadian Shield 1 to buy. So it's got a whole new cover. That Metal did not only pencil, ink, he in drawing it, he colored it as well. So you might want to get that. It's $10 American and shipping, from the States. So I'm not sure how much. Maybe you get it free shipping because of having Amazon Prime and all that. I'm not sure. So hopefully you do. And so that'll be great. If people get that, I don't have a link for it yet. It's in the middle of being done still, all the behind the scenes, but hopefully in the next week that will be good. In fact, I believe right now the digital version on there is live, although you can get the digital version for free off my website or Global Comics. But I figured, have it up on there, sell it too. So, so I'm not sure what else to say at this point. Let's see what we pop up. The there we got the chat. We got the chat for both. YouTube and Rumble.
Hmm. What did you try to put something for Rumble or something like that, Rick?
No. Like I went over to. I've been forgetting the last few times that we've been on together on your channel here that you also on Rumble. I remember and went over and grabbed the chat from Rumble. That way, if anybody happens to put a message in the Rumble one, that will be seen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The only way it shows up here on StreamYard is if you actually type something in from our, I have to go, I do that too. But anyways, so did you share any links or did you get everything you wanted to?
I had a bunch. I didn't share any links. I was just saying that I'm getting Canadian Shield 1 right now on Amazon. Right now it's up. I think it's up for sale on all of Amazon digitally. I'm working on getting it physically for people to buy off there as well. But I'm having a few problems with that part of it. But hopefully,
Well, from what I understand, Fund My Comic tends to be easier for most people, anyways, right?
yeah. Well, I just more mean for Amazon. Fund My Comic is a crowdfunding site where, Amazon. I'm just selling to anybody, right?
Hmm.
Who, um, well, can buy it worldwide. I was just testing out the Rumble chat there.
Yeah.
Just that way, some people don't want to buy off a website, your website or whatever. They don't know about my website, right?
Hmm.
I've got to be where people know. People don't necessarily know about Fund My Comic when I go to do crowdfunding for a new issue of something. So
Right.
it's a way of getting me out there and hopefully a little bit more money.
Yeah. Well, you're obviously going through and exercising all your options. I know that
Yeah,
Ripaverse recently did some expanding too, getting together with a distributor deal or something like that. I did an article on him,
yeah.
a couple weeks ago. So, anyways, anything more you want to promote before we continue on?
Nothing that I can think of at the time. This time.
All right. Well, with that being said, then let's talk about what we're gonna be doing tonight. So tonight we're going to be continuing our trip down comics history lane. We're going to, of course, take a look at books that went on sale in August of 1940. This time from whether you want to call it standard comics or better books or Nador, whichever one you know it by. That's the company we're focusing in on tonight. We'll be looking at stories from Thrilling Comics, Volume 1, Issue 9, Exciting Comics Volume 1 Issue 5, and Startling Comics number 3. So we'll start off with Startling Comics number 3. We'll be looking at Captain Future, and we'll be heading over to Thrilling Comics with The Ghost, and then we'll be wrapping things up with Sergeant Bill King and Jim Hatfield, Texas Rangers, in Exciting Comics. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and, as soon as I pull that up, of course, let's go ahead and get started. And of course, once we get through all that, of course, we'll wrap things up this weekend in Nietzsche history. All right, so there we go. So let me first get the first one we're going to do, just Startling Comics with Captain Future. Startling Comics number 3. Featuring Captain Future, Man of Tomorrow, Startling Comics. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how he's got that guy right there.
Yeah,
Like, more
great.
like in a headlock almost.
Yeah,
Here they are, the thrilling group of magazines for every taste, for every member of the family, featuring the best novels and stories being written today by America's most popular authors. Ask for them at your newsstand. Low in price, high in quality. You can't go wrong when you read the thrilling magazines, each one the best of its kind. Look at all that right there.
thrilling comics, exciting comics. Ghost, your prophecy for 1940. Thrilling mystery, thrilling adventures, Texas Ranger, detective novels, strange stories, popular sports, the Rio Kid Western, something else Western. Definitely a lot of stuff there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, you have to remember too. Even though we call them comic book today, back then
Yeah,
they called them comic magazines.
yeah, or just magazines.
Yeah. Uh, And again, friendly reminder to everybody, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions the best of my ability. Alrighty then. So, I'll go. Let's see. All right, I'll start off with the narration here, and then I'll go from there. Dr. Andrew Bryant, quiet young research engineer, accidentally happens on a source of gigantic power by crossing the infrared band and gamma ray, posing as Captain Fusion, archenemy of evil. He dedicates his great prowess to the service of humanity. I'll let you be the guy in blue right there. I'll be the gray haired guy. Start off here.
Okay.
Otto Martin, aged inventor, meets with a rebuff.
We're interested in producing electricity, Martin, not destroying it. Good day.
I won't give up. I'll take it to Briggs. He may have a bad reputation, but he knows value when he sees it. At the Briggs Electrical Corporation, I'll let you be the guy in red.
So, this gadget of yours cuts off electricity current. Let's have a demonstration.
Let me focus the ray. You'll see. It's focused on the powerhouse. Notice anything?
Great Scott! The telephone's dead, and the lights won't work either.
I'm a little afraid of it. If I turn it up any higher, the rail destroy everything in its path.
Show me. Train it on the river and push up the juice.
Martin twists the dial. A deadly ray knifes its way toward the river. Look at how they got that ray going right there. It's almost more like a flashlight than anything else. You see that, Rick?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even sure whether flashlight. It's just like a light, literally.
Yeah. Well,
A
I said
spotlight.
flashlight only because that's what came to mind when I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I don't think it is a flashlight, obviously, but
Yeah, I know that.
the far beneath the surface of the river, a subway train has said halt suddenly. So we'll just kind of alternate here. This service
Okay.
is terrible.
The lights. Now the lights are going out.
Power seems to be off.
We'll be drowned
Hold
like
on, hold
rats.
on, hold on.
Oh, so
The ray gets in its deadly effect. The tunnel collapses under the weight of the waters. Now go.
We'll be drowned like rats.
Help!
I'll be lucky if I ever get out of this one.
Dr. Bryant reaches the surface. Looks like I'm the sole survivor. Funny, first the current went off, then the tunnel caved in. Meanwhile,
I've been looking for something like this for a long time. You're staying to teach me how to use it, and I can't take any chances on your blabbing.
I won't stay if you're planning anything dishonest.
You do what I say, old fool.
Several nights later comes a sudden blackout.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead. You start.
hey, what is this?
The lights have gone out.
I can't see a thing.
When the lights flash on, they shot my partner and took the Conior ruby. It's as if they knew to the minute when the lights were going out. Dr. Andrew Bryant goes to work as the mysterious raids continue. Clever device reveals the source of the ray. Nothing around there but an old warehouse. Here's where I investigate. He charges himself with gamma infrared power. It'll be too bad for anyone who gets in my way now. Were you about to say something, Rick?
Oh, I just thought you read that one thing wrong, but you said infrared. Just the way that they did infrared. That's two different words instead of one word. I was thinking you missed the word red.
No.
Yeah, I realized that. That's why I stopped myself.
And in a moment becomes Captain Future, nemesis of crime. I've got a feeling I'm running into something big.
And hello, Natasha.
Hey, Netsuri, how you doing tonight? Hopefully all is well. If you haven't already, of course, you can help out by liking and sharing the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer your questions to the best, or we'll try to answer your questions best of our ability. So, anyways, back to the story at hand, of course. Here goes. With lightning speed, darts through the air he darts through the air toward the warehouse. They're employing a dangerous device, no telling how far they'll get if I don't stop them fast. Guess this is the place. Doesn't seem to be any other way to get in. Searching the old structure, he comes upon the dying body of Otto Martin. What happened? What happened? Try to tell me. They know how to use the ray now. Briggs Electric dead. He must have meant the Briggs Electrical Corporation. That shady outfit's pirated more than one invention. Next day, Dr. Bryant visits the company's offices.
Sorry, we're not taking on any electrical engineers.
I need a job. There's nothing I don't know about electricity. I can be very valuable to you.
Well, we'll take you on, but keep your mouth shut and don't ask questions. If you know what's good for you.
Suits me. I can start right now. Bryant is set to work in the laboratory. Soon his radio ear picks up a far off conversation.
Things are beginning to shape up, men. Now we can use Mutton's gadget to go after the big dough.
I'm on the right track. Guess I'll look into this.
If anything gets in your way, the rail blasted out. Easy, eh?
Wonder if I can get a look at them.
Almost famous last words. I
What was that?
said almost famous last words. I wonder if I could get a look at them. And you get caught.
Oh,
It's
wait,
like,
wait.
can I get it
Oh,
closer?
hold on. Did I jump or? Oops. No, oops. I kind of goofed there. I think. All right. Oh wait, no. Actually, so that was okay. All
Yeah.
right. I kind of got confused. Meanwhile, inside the office, hey, Briggs, look.
Keep talking as if we don't notice anything.
Yes, sir. Yes. I.
Yes,
Oh,
sir, boys. Well, sure, we'll go to town. They'll sneak up from. They'll sneak up and get him from the rear.
a sudden attack catches Bryant off guard. Looks like I stepped into something.
Pow!
Pow!
A spy, eh? Take him into the big guy.
I wasn't doing anything. Might as well play my part till I find out the lay of the land. I was just coming down to see you, Mr. Briggs.
You were, eh? I'm the last thing you're gonna see. Get rid of him, boys.
Bryant faces a terrible death.
You better be a pretty mess when this jigger gets through with you.
Let's scram. We gotta talk over the third national job tonight. The conveyor bears him relentlessly toward the huge stamping machine. I'll be lucky if I get out of this without a headache. He disappears into the maw of the huge stamper. But then crash! There's no time to waste. I've got to work. I've got work to do tonight. No lights, burglar alarms out of commission, and another job pulled. Quite a system. Now to follow their car. He does not know that a second car load of thugs lurks behind him.
Holy smoke! Who's that?
He must have been watching the job. Let's get him. Machine gun bullets rebound harmlessly from the strong magnetic field which surrounds his body. Somebody's using me for a target. Let's see, let me just see if there's any. I guess not. Not so fast, my friends. I can play rough too. Look at that. He just threw crash. Look at that. He just threw the car right into the window.
Side of a building.
Yeah.
Oh, there's our cover piece, basically,
Yeah.
right there.
Right. Seizing one of the thugs, he leaps in the air.
I think that's the one you were doing because he's in the brown jacket.
Let me go. Not till you do a little talking, pal. Get me off here. I'll be killed. Better tell me what Briggs' plans are first. He's got a new hideout, but he ain't said where yet. All I know is he's robbing the limited at the Transville Bridge. Captain Future speeds toward the scene of the holdup. So Briggs is using the ray to stop that train. I may have something to say about that if I get there in time. Nice dialogue, huh?
Yeah.
You were about to say something before I...
Don't think so. You just said nice dialogue. Yeah, it's just, it's a product of its time. And we still use some of it nowadays anyway, so.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Meanwhile, as the limited approaches Transville, I'll let you be the engineer right there.
Something's wrong. The power's petering out. Petering out.
Briggs' henchmen attack as the train comes to a halt. That's it. Slip him the heat.
The chief says there's 100,000 in the express car.
Suddenly, huh? Greetings, gentlemen.
Look out! Ouch!
I'm in the mood for a scrap. Anyone want to take me on? Bolts of flaming electricity scatter the bounds. Flaming electricity. Wow, that's a new one.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's flaming to me. It looks just electrifyingly electricity.
Yeah. Well, it actually does look a little bit more orange than usually it's like gold or yellow, but here they do have it as kind of more orangey.
Yeah, well, that's the coloring choice. I'm more talking, it still looks, they did the electrical zigzag type thing
Right.
where fire, they could have did it in the zigzag pattern, but made it look like fire, flamey instead of all the straight lines.
Any more trains you boys would care to stick up?
Ugh! Ouch!
Beat it, guys. We can't stop him. And this winds up the episode of the Great Train Robbery.
Power's coming back. Power is starting to come back, sir.
That gives me an idea. Throw the throttle wide open. He binds the captive gangster to the rails. Where's Briggs? Where's Briggs' new hideout? Better tell before the train cuts you to bits. Baby, it's the house on the highest point of Bald Mountain. This is more than you deserve.
Jeez. Well, that gives new definition to the saving the damsel in distress,
Oh, yeah.
saving the criminal in distress.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if we did handle criminals that way, it would probably make things a lot easier. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, if we just went all draconian on them and just put criminals out of their misery, we'd probably have a lot safer world.
True. No, I'm just more referring to the fact that normally you see, the old lady tied to, or the woman tied to the tracks by the dastardly guy, for whatever reason, and this time it's, the hero tying instead of the villain. But he's tying the crook to the tracks.
The lookout at Briggs Mountain headquarters reports alarming news.
Hey, Chief, here comes some guy zooming through the air like a bird, honest. I'll bet it's Captain Future. We've been hearing about that. Get out the plane.
They're sending a plane to intercept me. Looks like real action ahead.
The only problem is he's supposed to be zooming through the air. In that last panel, he looked more on the ground than the air.
Well, it could be leaping, much like Superman did earlier on.
True. And they did say like a bird, too. And I wanted to say something about that, The bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. I guess in this place, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Captain Future.
You want to do the pilot right there?
Yeah. Either my eyes are bad or this gun's loaded with blanks. I'll cut him down with my propeller.
He's asking for it.
What's he asking for?
I guess we'll find out soon enough. With a lightning swoop, he evades the whirling bird. Now it's my turn. Little different from what you expect, eh?
No, don't!
Rip! The gangster plane goes down in flames. And that's that. Briggs determines on a terrible revenge.
Strongman, eh? Here's where he gets a taste of the ray, and I'll give it all it has.
Striking squarely, the deadly ray short circuits his power. It's got me. Powerless, Captain Future smashes to the ground.
Oh, he can't be that powerless. He hit the ground and didn't die. That finished him. Now for the big job. Got the men together.
Yeah, and there's a pack of them. That'll be the biggest thing since Grant took Richmond. Now before we continue on to the next panel there, Rick, do you know what that's referencing right there? Grant took Richmond.
Well, probably Lucy. Getting the first name, Lucy's. I'm messing up the first name. Grant. I don't know Richmond necessarily.
It's a battle from the Civil War.
Okay.
What they're talking about is during the Civil War when Ulysses S. Grant, who was a general at the time, when he basically went into Richmond and took it over, basically.
Yeah, I
When he
figured it
captured-
was some battle that Ulysses Grant fought. I just, I was thinking Richmond was, well, I guess it makes more
Richmond,
sense.
as in Richmond, Virginia, the capital of Virginia. Richmond, as in the capital of Virginia.
Grant, I should have known that it was a place. I was thinking Richmond was a person, but yeah, it makes more sense that it's a place.
Well,
Metal says Grant.
Richmond is a name. It is a proper name too. So I mean,
Yeah,
but yeah, Grant took Richmond. That's a Civil War reference. That's a reference from a battle.
Metal says Grant is the best president we ever had. Well, I never had him as a president. He was never a president of my country. So,
because that's an interesting take, considering that there were people who would argue that maybe it was Washington or Lincoln or Reagan. Those are the two that usually come to mind.
Some might even say Trump nowadays.
Yeah.
Although that would definitely be controversial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can just hear the lefty. If somebody was to decide to put Trump's face on Mount Rushmore, I can just see the lefties having a fit about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough with the politics. Let's get back to the comic here.
Yeah.
Hours later, Captain Future regains consciousness. Guess the remnants of my power saved me. I've got to pull myself together.
He looks a lot bigger in that one there than he has in these other ones in that last panel.
Recovering, he makes his way to the gang hideout, and here's alarming news. They've got a completely equipped lab. What's that voice?
Briggs is pulling the paid in half an hour. Oh, we're pulling the raid in half an hour. What a job. The whole U.S. gold reserve in Kentucky vaults, we can't miss.
His television power picked up the leader in far-off Kentucky.
Between the Ray and you guys, Tommy guns, nothing can stop us. We'll mow down the guards, and the Ray will cut through the vaults like cheese.
Well, I believe that was Mo, not Mal, but
oh yeah.
Swiftly adjusting the laboratory apparatus, Captain Future crashes himself for action, or charges himself for action. I'm going to need more strength now than ever before. This is my chance to bust that gang wide open. If only I can get there in time. He sends a mid-air SOS. Looks like I'm going to be late. I'll use my power to send a radio warning. SOS. Fort Knox, SOS.
Get the cut. A group of bandits is striking at the gold supply any minute. They're using that ray we've heard about.
There's not a second to lose. I'll order out the troops.
Look at him drop. Oh, sorry.
The soldiers meet Briggs thugs in a pitched battle, but the deadly ray sweeps them back.
Look at him drop. Better run, soldier boys. You can't take it.
No use, fellas. They've got us. But suddenly, Captain Future drops from the skies. I didn't get here any too early. Here goes. Again, Briggs turns the ray upon him, this time at close range.
Still alive, eh? This time, I'll get him for good.
He falters as the terrible beam strikes, then rallies. There's no stopping me this time. I'll take your little toy, Briggs. Splat! Rip! The world will be a better place without this infernal machine. Captain Future turns the tide of battle. And now the rest of those rats. Overcome, Briggs' band is captured.
You were wonderful, man. Won't you stay so we can thank you properly?
Sorry, Colonel. Sorry, Colonel. I've got to be on my way. That sure was a busy time. It'll be good to get back to the quiet life of Dr. Andrew Bryant again. But Dr. Bryant isn't fated for a rest. Watch Captain Future in action again in next month's issue. Alrighty then. So, Rick, overall impressions of the story?
Not too bad. It started off, I think, a little slow, and then it got a little better at the end. Um, Although I think he just did a quick resolve at the end, but sort of I think it was almost expected. In some ways, you would have thought would have ended sooner, but wasn't too bad. Probably it was definitely something typical of the time. Not the best writing, but not the worst writing I've seen.
Oh, there's some interesting dialogue there.
Yeah. And again, this is by Better Books. You were saying,
well, that was one of the. It's Better Books, Nador, Standard, Pines. These are the names of the companies gone by over the years.
Yeah, so
at the time, I believe at the time we're looking at, I think it was Better Books, but
yeah, well, it's definitely not one of the better books. It wasn't too bad of a story, but in some ways, with that writing, I can see why they had to change names probably a little bit, and that why they didn't ultimately last.
All right, so let's get to the next book here, Thrilling number 9. Now, I do need to go off camera here for a moment, so I'll be right back. But why don't you talk to the chat while I'm gone, and I'll be right back.
Featuring a complete Doc Strange action adventure. Well, this is not the Doc Strange or Doctor Strange that we will be used to, which is, I guess, all right. Is anybody actually here? How are you guys enjoying these stories thus? Well, the one we've only done one story so far, but did you guys enjoy it? What did you guys think? Not sure what much else to say. Yeah, as I said, it was fairly all right, and I'm not sure what else can be said about it. Like I said, it wasn't the worst, wasn't the best. No, I'm not here. I'm working on my manual. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to get a bunch done this week for my cross comics. If I'm off work because of the things, I might as well get some stuff done for Cross Comics instead of wasting the time. No. Well, you can be here listening while working on your stuff. I'm sure this isn't all that distracting. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you in the morning and in the
All
afternoon.
right, I'm back. So, anyways, and for those in the, I don't know if you're celebrating it today as well, Rick. But at least for those in the States and maybe Canada too, if you're celebrating it up there, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, we do celebrate Mother's Day today as well. Well, those that have some mothers around. I don't really have a mother around anymore, so not much for me to do for it. And I don't have a wife that's a mother, and I don't have a wife that has a mother. Well, even if I had a wife, maybe she'd have a
Yeah,
mother.
same boat here, but we still will say it nonetheless.
Oh yeah, to everybody else, yeah, sure. Happy Mother's Day. For all those that do. Metal says, I too am motherless.
Well, I don't, it's not as much that we're motherless. It's just more our mothers have passed on to the next life, as it were. So,
No.
so with that being said, of course, so now of course, we're gonna get down to the ghost.
The ghost.
And
Yeah,
then
I was commenting more on Doctor Strange.
yeah, I did hear you before I stepped
Yeah.
out. So.
And Ghost, Marvel has a character like named that too. I wonder whether Marvel at some point bought up these characters and just redid them. Well,
I don't think so.
although Ghost is a more public domain name, I would say, just because of Ghost. How can you could just do anything with that?
Here we go. The Ghost, Master Magician. Now this does seem a little dark, Rick. Can you see that?
Yeah, it seems a little dark, but most of it seems legible. Especially in the yellow or the white. Even the
Right.
red there looks something like the stuff that's
On the bottom. Well, I think that's just a byline on the bottom there.
yeah. So it's not too thing, where it says what is that, created by or whatever, or illustrated by.
Yeah.
And then it's got a signature, which is even less legible.
All right. Well, anyways, George Chance, trained by the yogis of India as a master magician, masquerades as the Ghost. In using his strange powers to fight crime, he is engaged in a bitter battle against Professor Fenton, villainous inventor of the Great Time Machine. In the Midwest city of Duquesne,
You want me to do the guy in
yeah,
green?
You do the guy in the beard. They're the bad guy.
The ghost will never find us out here. And now we've got things organized. It's time to get to work.
Okay, Fenton. What's on the program?
Well, vary the kidnap racket this time. Here's a list of names. Call on them and make them come across. Tell them if they hold out or try to bring the police in, we'll snatch them for sure.
Dr. Tom Rollins, eminent young bacteriologist, proves a poor customer. You'll get no money out of me, you rat. Peddle your wares elsewhere. Ugh! Professor Fenton calls for action. I couldn't help it, Chief. He swung on me before I could pull my rod.
Show these fools I mean business. Get the boys and don't come back without Rollins.
The thug stage a kidnapping. You better get set for a long trip, Doc. Let's get going.
You did him in the previous panel.
Okay. I guess you
Pretty
got
sure.
me. What now?
Yeah, because I think that's the guy that took a swing and said something.
Yeah. What a layout. I'll have to tell the boss about this. Honest, the place is full of bugs. It gave me the willies.
Disease? Germs? I want every bottle he's got in that laboratory.
A series of deadly epidemics ravages the city, breaking out mysteriously in every quarter. Hospitals and physicians are overtaxed. Health officials are powerless. It's as if some evil agency were at work.
I've got it. Why not contact Rollins?
Back east, the ghost reads alarming reports. Kidnapping and a reign of terror. That's Fenton's trademark. He speeds to the ravaged city.
Who hasn't heard of the ghost? Mr. Chance? But why are you here?
I believe the epidemics are man-made, and the man behind them is Fenton. He the greatest kidnap racketeer in history. An extortion note confirms his suspicions.
Some crank, I guess, offers to stop the disease wave in the city, comes across, or else he signs it Dictator F.
I was right. This is all part of his plan to get control of the country. Here's where I go to work. At his hideout, the ghost magic summons a yogi from far off India.
Out of the way, have you gotten me out of my son?
Help me find the evil Fenton, venerable one.
Look yonder, the dark spirit lurks.
Oh, look how they drew that. Look how they drew Fenton right there.
Yeah.
That's a classic megalomaniacal villain scene right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like cast almost like his whole presence over a building or over a piece of land or something like that.
Yeah.
According to the city map, that place ought to be just a few miles ahead, outside of Fenton's headquarters. If I know Fenton, the place will be hard to get into. I wonder if this works. The rest should be a cinch. Hidden in the crate, the ghost is carried into Fenton's laboratory.
Hey, boys, just put it down anywhere.
They left a guard. I'll have to get rid of him.
Getting sleepy. Can't seem to keep my eyes open.
Fenton's safe yields to the ghost nimble fingers. I thought so. Here's Rollins' name and the time machine setting for the age in which Fenton has hidden him. Yeah, I think Fenton's one of these mad scientists who came up with a time machine and would trap people in the past, kind of thing.
Yeah, we might have read something about this in the past before. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if it was this story or another story, but
yeah.
Swiftly, he focuses the great machine. This is the proper wavelength. Wonder how far back in time it'll land me. The power's coming up. Here goes. The ghost whirls back through the ages. The blue yeah, it might have been this one. In fact, I think I do kind of remember that blue time beam.
Yeah.
The blue time beam brings him to a dark and ancient room. Sensing danger, he makes himself invisible.
And hello, Fitzjozo. We have Fitzjozo in the chat.
Fitzjozo's here. Hey, Fitzjozo. Get a chance to highlight your comment there.
What? What the beam's on, but nobody's coming over.
Dr. Rollins receives a surprise. Hello, Doctor. What is this? Men call me the Ghost, Rollins. I've come to get you, and you're needed back in the 20th century. Where do you get that stuff? 20th century? Fenton hides all of his kidnapped victims in past ages. That's what his machine's for. I don't believe it. You're trying to trick me. The ghost magic creates an astral shadow of Rollins to allay suspicion in their absence. Leaving your astral body here while leaving your astral body here will convince Fenton's guards that you're still around. Come on and see for yourself. You must be a wizard. Well, no, he's the ghost, not the wizard.
No, not the wizard, a wizard. Technically, he is, sort of. Yeah, but yeah.
Right, but
He's a wizard named the Ghost.
right. The walls open at his touch. I don't know what year this is, but I guarantee you're in for a shock.
Okay, there's so much wrong here. First of all, this guy's coming to rescue you. Why would he lie about something so absurdly thing? And then, why do you need to show him? Just go to the beam and get him out of there. Why do you need to show him that you're correct?
Well, I think it's because he might be a little resistant. I mean, if he tried to just take him into the beam to take him back to the 20th century, I mean, he doesn't necessarily believe him. All right.
Yeah, I get that,
so if somebody can, even if you didn't necessarily trust somebody and they said they were coming to rescue you, would you be quite so? I mean, he's probably thinking that this is probably just one of Fenton's thugs who's just trying to sucker him into something.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like this guy says he's there to rescue me. Like I've been taken captive. Okay, it's like maybe I think he's a little loony because of the 20th thing.
The reference to the 20th century.
Yeah, and like you're not there, but it's at the same time, it's like you would think. Okay, why don't you just come with me? You think he would just take him back to the 20th century instead of...
Again, I would argue that maybe because he doesn't trust him.
Yeah, but if you take him to the beam, who cares whether he trusts you? You get him back, right? And he's no longer in Fenton's hands.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you saw how he reacted to the thugs in the first place, I'm saying that to just simply try to take him into the beam is probably going to be a little bit harder than you might think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That's
like he's there.
Rick.
To me, it's he's there to rescue you. That's
he's going to be fighting him. It's like if the ghost tries to grab him to take him back to the 20th century, he's going to be resisting him. He's going to probably give him a right hook, just like he did the thug. So I mean,
yeah, but I guess my point is more. Okay, he's saying, "Come with me, and I'm going to show you that it's not the 20th century out there." Why not? Can't he just say, "Come with me," and you'll be rescued?
Well, maybe because he's again trying to establish trust.
Yeah, I just don't. I
know it probably is a bit of a loopy way of going around about it. But
it'd be a lot faster just to take him to the beam.
The guy.
To me, I think it'd just be a lot faster to take him to the beam, but I guess we wouldn't have the story then or whatever. Anyways, I'm not sure what metal means.
Well, it would also be a lot quicker and therefore a very short story if all the ghost had to do is just snap his fingers and the bad guy just disappears from existence altogether.
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure what metal means by saying, I mean, he could be both. Could be what both?
Well, I think you meant like wizard and ghost.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think that was from when we were talking earlier.
Oh, okay. I sort of said that, but yeah.
Yeah. Walking through a quiet countryside, they see. Take a look at those uniforms. Recognize them? Great Scott, British redcoats of the time of George III. We're back in the 18th century. Well, you want to try being a red coat right there, Rick?
Those roads are strangely clad. We'll best question them.
We're strangers in this part of the country. We mean no harm.
You meddling Yanks are a troublesome lot. Be off.
Suddenly, a beautiful girl appears in the coach. Lucky for you Britishers. They aren't colonial troops, or you'd fast learn the folly of making an American patriot captive. Carrying its mysterious prisoner, the coach departs. Wow, we're in the colonies, and the American Revolution's on. Wonder who that girl was. I'm going to find out. We'll follow. Touch my forehead, and don't be frightened. A Hindu spell suspends them above the galloping coach. This beats flying, All Hollow. They arrive at British headquarters in Boston.
Move, you vixen. I'll be glad to get you off our hands.
The feeling's mutual. But where did I get these clothes? Just one of my little tricks to keep you from attracting too much attention. Get some horses and wait here for me. Invisible, the ghost penetrates the walls and comes upon an interesting scene.
We know you all this. We know you for what you are. Spy. Tell us the strength of Washington's army, or it will go, or it will go ill with you.
I'll die before I betray my cause.
Perhaps your methods can make her talk, Colton. Leave it to me. In a minute, she'll be screaming everything she knows.
The soldier approaches, but an invisible force hurls him back.
It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. So, you're not only a spy, but a witch as well. Take her out, Colton, and hang her at once.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yikes. Not something you want to be branded around that time.
No. I'm too scared to go near her.
Led to the gibbet, the beautiful spy is prepared for execution.
Come on, sweetheart. It won't be long.
I'm only sorry I can't live to see our cause victorious. Stop! Go no further.
Yep, it's the devil himself.
Oh. No sense in you hanging around.
Ooh.
As the watching redcoats charge forward, they are stopped by a wall of flame.
Fire! Get back! It's black magic! That spy must be in league with Satan. Run!
Escape. Well, okay. Here's. I think he was meant to say this because she would not have known the guy's
Yeah.
name. Quick, Rollins, they're after us. Let's go, Ghost. Hurry. There's a pack of them following. Pursuit temporarily shaken off. They rest. I'm Betty Morris. I was captured trying to get British military secrets through to General Washington. Men call me Ghost, but I, too, am loyal to America. I failed, and my failure may doom our cause. The Redcoats have gathered a great army of Hessians and plan to trap Washington's army. Rick, do you know what Hessians are?
Indians?
No, Hessians were actually German mercenaries who were allied with the British at the time.
Oh, okay.
The attack's set for tomorrow. There's no time to get down there to warn them. Here come a troop of Britishers. The horses are tired. We'll never get away. Here's where some 20th century speed will come in handy. Watch.
Oh, excuse me.
With a wave of his hand, the ghost materializes a speedy plane from the air. Oh boy! Oh boy! There's nothing to hold us here now. There they come. Let's get going. What is this strange device? They take off just in time, scattering the onrushing redcoats.
Look, it flies! Flee for your lives! We're lost!
Speeding over the miles, the plane lands near the colonial encampment. I don't want to come down too close to the camp. Might scare our own men. You must live in an age of miracles. Entering the camp, they are brought before George Washington. A large army of Hessians is camped behind the hill on the opposite shore, General. They plan to attack in force tomorrow. Then our cause is lost. There are Britishers to the south. We're hemmed in. There's one course left open, General Washington. Why not cross the Delaware under cover of night and catch the Hessians by surprise. Cross the Delaware? You're mad. The river's full of ice flows and a dangerous current running. If I've got to lose my army, it will be in battle, not by drowning. So in this world, Washington was given the idea to cross in the world of standard better books. Washington was given the idea to cross the Delaware by a time traveling
superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows that he did it, and that's why he's suggesting it.
Yep. Let me prophesy. Take a chance, and you will sweep on to victory. Hesitate, and your battle for freedom is forever lost. I don't know why I should believe you, but something tells me you're telling the truth. A great decision. Get the men ready, and quietly get every boat you can lay your hand on. Boats? Why, yes, General. The ghost potent spell helps Washington to cross the Delaware. They'll never expect us. We'll scatter the Hessians to the four winds. The forces of magic are on our side. See how he holds back the ice? He's even harned speed the tides of the river.
Well, this is definitely a nice, interesting retelling of a historical event.
Uh-huh. Well, part of the reason why I picked this, when they said the ghost meets George Washington, it sounded like a very interesting story. So I figured let's take a look at this. When I made my decision to.
Yeah.
Next day, the ghost returns to the encampment with great news. Huh. I thought you'd never come back. Tell me what's happened. It's all over. It's all over, Betty. Washington's victorious. The Hessian army is destroyed.
Oh, Betty, she's the one that makes the American flag.
Well, Betty Morris, but
yeah, but she'll probably get married and become Ross.
It's the Well, let's take a look. Was her maiden name Morris? Actually, no, it's not Betty, because it was Betsy Ross who made the American flag. Not
yeah,
Betty.
But Betty is, I think, a derivative of that. Or I think they're both a derivative, maybe, of Elizabeth.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Betsy is somewhat of a derivative or Betsy is a derivative of Betsy Ross, but it's not Betsy Ross.
No?
Betsy Ross was born Elizabeth Griscom.
Griscom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just looked it up. Anyway, quite a bit of conversation going on tonight too. That's cool. It's the dawn of a new era. George Washington will go on to become the first president of the greatest nation the world has ever known. We're going to have our troubles, but in the end, democracy will conquer the dictators any tyrants who seek to destroy us. I want to see the great land which you prophesy, and to help it through its troubles. Can't I go back with you? You mean leave your home, your people, and go into a strange century? I'll take you, Betty. What are we waiting for? Let's get back to Fenton's base. I'm needed at home. Oh, by the way, not usually considered a good idea to be traveling people back and forth through time, by the way. Albeit they
No.
didn't know any better at this stage when they were writing the story. Because you'd have a serious way of, you might.
Unless they were supposed to already go,
The ghost spell brings them to the to the to the gang's base. What's our first move? Beat up Fenton's thugs? That wouldn't get us anywhere. Quiet, I'm concentrating. And if this works, we're saved. A strange force strikes through the centuries into Fenton's laboratory. I must be going crazy. I don't want to do this, but something's driving me to it. I'm going to get out of here. The throne switch puts the machine into action, bringing the ghost and his party back into the present. We're here, Betty. Sure you won't regret it? Never. Not as long as I can help you battle the forces of injustice and make America a better land to which to live. Follow the magic exploits of the Ghost each month in Thrilling Comics. All right, Rick. So overall impressions.
Not so bad. Of course, there's that one qualm that I came up with quite early in the rescue. I think that was a little. I'm not sure what the word for it is. I still think he would have been better off just taking, but again, then we wouldn't have got this story, which was unique for the retelling of history from a different perspective, So I guess in that way, I'm not sure whether I'd call it exciting, but I'll call it interesting. Well, that wasn't exciting. When was that from? Oh, we just read.
Remember, I'll give you a chance to rate the stories that we do tonight.
No. The comic. What was the story? Which one magazine was that out of?
Startling.
Okay,
no. Okay, so from the Ghost was in Thrilling Comics, actually, Thrilling Comics, and Captain Future was in Startling. Now we're gonna go over to
Okay. I wouldn't call it thrilling, but I'd call it interesting.
All right. Well, before we do get into our last story or two here, and we are getting to the hour and a half mark, so hopefully I think we'll get through both of them because they're combined 11 pages. So, but I do need to step away from the computer for a moment. So why don't you talk to the chat while I'm gone?
Okay. Anybody still here? If it's Jozo, Metal, Natasha, not sure how to pronounce that. Looks like Natasha to me. But how is everybody tonight? Hope everybody is doing good. What have you guys thought of this? Well, the two stories thus far. If anybody can answer, I'm not even sure whether anybody's listening. Well, Metal's probably got us on, but maybe not listening. Or maybe he's the one not listening as he's doing his stuff on his role playing game. Oh. X Dynamis Chaos RPG. Is it the X by Dynamis Chaos RPG? Because TT doesn't really isn't EX EDC 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 RPG EDC RPG. Hey, instead of CDE, you're EDC. You got it backwards. You're going through the alphabet backwards. A B C C D E E C D C D E. Okay, and I don't know what I am. I'm wacky and the smacky, but up, banaki. Yeah.
All right, so now let's get into the next, last two stories here. Sergeant Bill King and Jim Hatfield, Texas Rangers. So, 10 thrilling action adventures in this issue. Exciting comics.
The Mask. Sons of the Gods. Dan Williams.
Okay. Is that Sergeant Bill King right there? Sergeant Bill King by Leo Ward.
What are you milking?
In Bill King's trench, somewhere on the Western Front.
Look, sir!
Oh. Look at the start. Oh. Rick?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Be
Okay.
the first guy there.
Look at the plane, Sarge. It's headed this way.
It's a Nazi. Hope he doesn't spot us.
The Britishers, they're paying him a visit.
And leave unleave bullets for calling cards. Machine guns roaring. Plane swoops down on the English trench. Look out!
Home is never like this.
The German rises as the British plane roars up.
Lucky this fast no plan got me here in time to head these birds off.
The Nazi crashes.
Oh, maybe that was the
Oh,
reverse.
that will teach him to monkey with us.
I gave somebody a German accent that shouldn't have had a German accent.
But suddenly, crack! A mysterious mishap has destroyed the British ace. I can't understand it. The wing seemed to crumble like watchwood, like matchwood.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, in a test flight far behind the lines, but it couldn't happen. It doesn't make sense. Look, the strange air mishaps continue, and an official inquiry is held. It's organized sabotage.
Espionage can't find a thing.
There's only one man who can produce results. Bill King. Sergeant Bill gets a call. All of the wrecked planes were put together at the Dome Assembly Plant, assigning you to work undercover there as head of the plant police. I'll start at once, Colonel. As Bill reports to the plant, a mysterious assailant strikes. This helmet saved my life. Looks like somebody knows what I'm up to around here. Superintendent Jarvis is amazed.
I only had an assistant superintendent, Kent, here knew you were coming.
Be the assistant as well.
The Nazi spies must be pretty busy.
I'll start work immediately. Bill issues instructions. From now on, we've got to watch this plant like hawks. Keep on your toes and report everything suspicious to me.
We sure will, sir.
On patrol, he sees a suspicious sight. Hey, you! What's going on in there?
Look out! It's Bill King.
I'll spoil your dirty game.
You won't live to talk about this.
Fast action saves Sergeant Bill. You're slow on the draw, my friend. I've got you, you rat. Better spill what you know while you're in one piece.
Don't shoot me. I'll talk. It's sabotage ring.
The mysterious assailant strikes again.
The leader is.
Holy smoke! Bill makes his report. I would have gotten the leader's name if that shot hadn't stopped me.
You've done good.
Oh. Okay, go for it.
Okay, you've done good work, King. I'm depending on you for more of it.
I thought that might have been the colonel, but
yeah, I'm not sure. All these suits Well, the colonel has the whitish grayish hair.
Oh yeah. And I
You've
think
got to be
yeah.
you've got to be on your guard tomorrow. We're testing out a new haymaker, the new haymaker Hawker Eagle, the best fighting plane in the world. Keep your eyes open so they don't make another attempt on her.
Don't worry, sir. I'll stay on the job. Next day, all is in readiness for the great test flight.
Take off, Jones! Remember, circle the field twice. Land.
What's that plane?
Another new model, but we've don't dare take her up. There's no limit to her speed, but she'll catch fire if you press her. Needs more development work.
The plane roars off just as the real pilot appears. Who's in my plane? Someone slugged me. They're stealing the plane. I'll have to work fast. I'll chance it. Oh wait, oh.
Don't take that crate, King. It's suicide. She'll burn.
I'll chance it. We can't let the Nazis get that new model. Bill takes off in a flying coffin. That other crate's fast too. I'll pile on the speed. Here's hoping. Racing through the air, he overhauls fleeing plane. Overburdened, his ship takes fire. What the crate's it's burning, but I'll down him before I crash. The burning plane plunges into a deadly air battle. Finally, Bill's bullets find their mark. Without a parachute, Bill is forced to leap from the blazing plane. Guess this is my finish. Landing in the water, he's saved. Returning to the plant, he sets a clever plan into motion.
Since they didn't get the plane, they'll try for the plans next. Better send them to headquarters for safekeeping.
You're right. I'll do it first thing tomorrow. Actually, I think we should have reversed it there. I should have probably that night. If the chief spy thinks the plans are going out of here tomorrow, he may come after them tonight. Hope he falls into the trap. Entering, he sees a shadowy figure at the safe. I've hooked him now to see what he looks like. With a leap, he is upon the intruder. Here's how. Ugh! I'm going to go off camera for a quick moment. I'll be right back. I'm just going to chat it up with the chat for a moment. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I will try. Are you guys liking the studies? We've heard nothing much from you guys in the crowd. I would very much like to hear from you. You need, do you find these interesting at all? This one is a little better, I think, for the most part. I'm not sure what to think of it. Uh, Pilot guy, I'm not sure how to describe this one, but I'm not sure what to say. I'm just trying to make.
All right, this will probably be our last story because we're at the hour. Well, I guess we'll scratch that. We'll wait to see what happens. See what happens.
Yeah.
Just because it's 1:40 right now, so I don't. Depending on
Yeah.
how we get. An uppercut foils the spy shot. Chief spy is unmasked. Assistant Superintendent Kent. Here he is, sir, the spy responsible for the sabotage here.
You've done well, King. You've saved the planet.
Watch Bill King strike another blow for the Allies in our next issue. All right, so we probably will have enough time to get. So, overall impressions of that story, Rick?
Not too bad. A lot, I'd say, different than the other two, but it's not really.
Well, the other
This,
two were more superhero one. Well, we had a
yeah,
superhero one, a superhero magician one, and now just more of a military.
yeah,
So,
invest a little bit of detective work, but also I think ultimately it wasn't too bad. Although I just looked at this one panel at the bottom there. I think they cut off part of that one guy getting hit with the swing.
all right.
They did like some green over him where
Oh, okay.
they showed his body.
I guess so. But anyways, oh yeah, I guess I kind of see what you're talking about. Does kind of look a little funky there, but anyways, so anything more you want to say about this one?
No, nothing I can think of.
All right. So we do have one more than I think we can get to, which is as soon as I can get to it. Oh, overshot that a bit.
Just like the last one.
Jim Hatfield, Texas Ranger.
I guess this is nothing like Walker, Texas Ranger.
I don't think so. Captain McDowell gives Jim his new assignment.
Shirley North, owner of the Bossy Ranch, has asked me to send someone down to investigate rustling there. You're the man I picked.
I'm on my man. I'm on my way. Jim rides onto the Barcy range. Things don't look right here. His bullet surprised a band of rustlers. Someone got Smitty. Let's beat it. Oh. A ranger charges. Looks like I'm going to wind up this business fast. The rustlers flee. Now to round up this herd. What the? Jim is mistaken for a rustler. Caught you in the act. Talk fast. Who's your boss? I reckon you've made a mistake, ma'am. I'm Jim Hatfield, Texas Ranger, investigating the rustling here. Jim identifies himself. Here's my badge. Reckon you must be Shirley Morse. I am, and I'm certainly glad to see you. The two ride back to the ranch. I can't understand it. Mine is the only spread being rustled. They meet
Probably
Slim.
because you're a Golden Ranger and they think you're weak. Anyways, I'm going to rest.
They meet Slim, Bar C foreman, and Randy Smith, owner of the neighboring Circle Square Ranch.
Circle Square.
This is Jim Hatfield, Texas Ranger. After Super Slim tells about after supper, Slim tells about the rustlers. Pete, one of our hands, thought he had an ID who was doing the rustling. We ain't heard from him for 2 days. One of the Bar C hands interrupts. Pete,
go
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Pete Hulse just came in. North Tatchet to the saddle. Says he's located the rustlers. Some lonesome gulch. He wants us all to come to help him.
Wants all to come help. I wonder.
Seems like an ambush.
They reach Lonesome Gulch. It's Pete. The man's been dead for several days. Looks like he was killed somewhere else and brought here. But why? Come on, back to the ranch. Maybe not an ambush, but maybe a way to get everybody away from the ranch, maybe?
Yeah, a distraction.
Startling news greets their return.
Rustlers be Shirley. No one was there to stop them.
Just as I suspected. A ruse to get us away. Jim has his own suspicions. Slim is a Circle Square brand, a circle with a square?
Yep, it is.
I wonder. He decides to investigate the Circle Square Ranch. If my suspicions are right, I ought to be able to find out something. Now to get closer. Jim gets a look at the proceedings. Hold her steady. Seems a bit late for Brandon. I'd better see what this is all about. I don't know. Could it be that maybe he's trying to rustle away her cattle, maybe drive her out so he can take over her land, maybe?
Possibly.
He holds up the men. Put up your hands. You with the calf, hold it. So my hunch was right. Putting your brand over the Bar C. You're the rustlers, all right. Jim examines the calf.
Which probably should have been read first.
What was that?
Probably should have read that the other way, but
yeah, I know. I realized after the fact. Suddenly, a lariat pins his arms. What the? Jim is quickly.
Oh, sorry. That face looks pretty wacky there. Well, both of them do actually, but anyways.
So you're behind the rustlers.
Jim Hatfield. Well, you're going. Your information won't do you any good. Wait his weigh his body and drop him into Smuggler's Lake.
But surely, unknown to him, has followed Jim.
This is the end of you, Ranger.
I've got to do something.
Over he goes.
A desperate plunge. Hope I'm not too late. Diving to the bottom, she cuts Jim's bonds. Thank God. They're easy to cut. They reach dry land. You were wonderful, but there's work to do. Get the sheriff and the boys from the ranch. I'm going back to the Circle Square. Jim holds up Smith. I have a score to settle with you, Smith. He is attacked from behind.
Take care of him, men.
Jim fights them off.
Get him.
And takes refuge in an outbuilding. Look like I got my hands full.
Get the dynamite.
Smith's men besiege him.
Get the dynamite.
The building is dynamited.
Look out. Here comes the sheriff.
Smith slips away in the ensuing fight.
This is a good time to bamboos.
Trying to slip away. I'll get that varmint. Jim gallops off in pursuit. Come on, pony. A desperate dive knocks Smith from his horse. You're not getting away this time, rustler.
Look out.
This finishes you, Smith. I didn't thank you for saving my life. And I didn't thank you for saving my ranch. Jim Hatfield gets a new assignment next week or next month. Don't miss it. All right, overall impressions of that story.
Not too bad. Pretty good little Western story.
Yeah, and that's the last of it right there. That's the last story of the evening. We're at now the hour and 53-minute mark, so we're gonna really have to kind of hurry along here. All right, so before we get into this day in each history, before we start closing things out, of course. So overall, of the 4 stories we read tonight, Captain Future, The Ghost, Sergeant Bill King, and Jim Hatfield, Texas Ranger, which one did you like the most or made the best impression, and why?
Well, this might come as a surprise to some folks, but I'm going to say Jim Hatfield, the Texas Ranger.
How come?
I liked it. The story was fairly, I won't say plain, but it was just, I think it was written. Maybe it's just because it was short or whatever. They didn't go into too much stuff. It's something typical that would happen for that, and the you know taking over and getting rustling and all that, and then
Mhm.
just the good guy getting it, well, almost getting it, and I like the fact that the damsel saves the straight the ranger instead of the ranger saving her. Well, he does save her ranch, but you know what I mean. You know, we some people talk about not strong women, although she's only in it for, as far as we know, one thing. That's a strong woman, right? She
Mhm.
saves the guy instead of the guy saving her.
Well,
Uh,
it is kind of funny too. Back here in the like 30s and 40s, you did see, you did, because we've read at least a couple of stories I can think of where there actually was like a female ranch owner at a time when, you know, they would have been more of a rarity. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, so that was kind of that's kind of the thing. All right. So, anything more you want to say on that?
Nothing I can think of. Like I said, it was fairly, I'll say simple, not plain, but simple, direct. And I think that was good for the story. I think it made it the best out of
I think it was
all
the
of
shortest of the stories too, at 5 pages. So, um, all right. Well, with that being said, then, so of the three remaining, which one did you like the least or made the least impression, and why?
this is where it gets hard. In some ways, I am tempted to say the magician one, the ghost, just because of the whole as what I consider a fallacy of him. Should have just got the guy and went back to the future. uh,
Mhm.
but the whole George Washington thing makes it a little bit better, in my opinion. Um, but at the same time, um, I I don't really think the Bill one is worthy of it, and I don't really think uh, the Captain Future one was. Oh man,
Basically, you'd have to say that the one that made the least, or you liked the least, was basically the ghost story. Due more to the fact of that one little fallacy about what we were discussing about whether or not
yeah,
the guy could trust him or not, and how that
yeah,
came about.
but yeah,
Like I said, it did seem like it went in a little bit of a roundabout way to try to establish trust, but I think that there otherwise wouldn't be a story if it went just straight through, though. So,
yeah, and that's the only thing, like the whole George Washington thing. Um, I think they could have executed it better to get in with the George
Mhm.
Washington stuff, but um, you know,
Mhm.
it's unfortunately I'm putting it at the low end of the list. Although I like the George Washington thing, I just think
Mhm.
I didn't really come across. I don't think we really came across any much fallacy or whatever for the Captain Future or whatever his name was
Mhm.
story. It was a little bit more mundane and slow. That could possibly put it as the least impression. And maybe you know what, as much as there's a fallacy in the other one, the the ghost, I think I am going to go with what you call it, um, yeah, the Captain Future one as the least impression because it was a bit although it was all right, but it wasn't super. It was like I said, a lot more
There wasn't
slow.
anything that stood out in it, is what you're saying for the Captain Future.
Yeah, you know, the
Huh.
George Washington thing makes the other one stand out, and even heck, just the fallacy and it makes it stand out a little bit too, right? So,
Mhm. All right.
So,
So, with that being said, of course, we're now coming up on the 2 hour mark here. So now we're going to start to wrap up here. So today, of course, is Sunday, May the 10th, 2026. So let's take a look back at this weekend. Niche history. History! And first off, I'm going to head back 75 years ago yesterday. And on yesterday's date, 75 years ago, I'm going to pull that up. The 25th issue of Tales from the Crypt from EC Comics went on sale on yesterday's date back in 1951. Sold for 10 cents for 32 pages. The stories included The Trophy, Judy, You're Not Yourself Today, Love to Death, and The Works in Wax. So 75 years ago today, Tales from the Crypt, the 25th issue of Tales from the Crypt from EC Comics went on sale on yesterday's date back in 1951. So, that one.
cool.
Oops. I don't know why I did that. Didn't need to at this point. But anyways. Now moving on to the next piece of niche history. We move ahead to the year 1986 on this date 40 years ago today. On yesterday's date 40 years ago today. Passing away at the age of 62, American actor and singer Herschel Bernardi passed away on this date back in 1986, 40 years ago. For animated fans, he is known for more his commercial work, as he was the original voice of the star-kissed tuna Charlie Tuna, as well as the Jolly Green Giant. He was also the narrator for Tootsie Pops.
Oh, cool.
So, passing away at the age of 62 on yesterday's date 40 years ago today, American actor Herschel Bernardi, who is the voice of the star-kissed tuna Charlie Tuna, the original voice, as well as the Jolly Green Giant. Oh, ho, ho, Green Giant! And the narrator for the Tootsie Pop. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
Cool.
And now moving ahead to today's date, as we of course first off move on this date in the year 1986, so 40 years ago today as well.
It's almost so nice you're hitting it twice.
Yep. Not the exact
But the
same
day.
day.
Yeah, a day away.
But
It's
Studio
only a day.
Paro's Bari Bari Densetsu, translated as Vroom Vroom Legend, was released on this date back in the OVA from Studio Pero. Premiered on this, or was released on this date in Japan back in 1986. So 40 years ago today was the premiere of Studio Pero's OVA Vroom Vroom Legend, or Bari Bari Densetsu. And finally, on this date 5 years ago, as soon as I pop that up, on this date 5 years ago today, back in 2021, WWE held the Go Home Raw before that weekend's Backlash pay-per-view from the Yuengling Center in Tampa, Florida. The main event saw Drew McIntyre defeat Bobby Lashley with MVP in his corner. The show opened up with a 6-woman tag match, as on one side, Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke defeated the team of Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler with Reginald, 6-woman tag match. Rhea Ripley would defeat Asuka later in a singles match. Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo went to a referee's decision. In an 8-man tag match, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods of the New Day, Randy Orton, and Matt Riddle defeated a team of AJ Styles, Omos, Elias, and Jackson Riker. So there we go. That's all we have for you guys tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the show, as it were. So before we go, as it were, Rick, was there anything you wanted to promote or talk about before we head out?
Just people go over, check out my channel. I'll be doing my manga Monday tomorrow, and be mashing up some Mario and He-Man characters on Tuesday. Maybe I'll draw some of these characters up on Wednesday. I'm not sure yet.
Well, I guess one of the other advantages to being on these shows every month or so is it gives you some new ideas to play with, right?
Yeah, like I might actually draw up what's his name, Captain Future on Thursday. I'm pretty sure he's public domain. So it'd be neat. He's got a fairly simple look. Reminds me a little bit of the Flash. With the lightning on and the red.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives a public domain character, like I said, that I can draw up, that I know to find out about. Not that I've probably, like I said, I think we've read them before, but anyways, yeah, just go. And then of course I'll have the silhouette game this Thursday, and we are doing 80s cartoons.
Uh-huh.
So all the characters will be characters that were in 80s cartoons.
All right. Anything more you want to say before we wrap up?
Not that I can think of.
If you can just stick around for a couple minutes for post show, we'll be quick. I'll be fine. All right, everybody. Well, with that being said, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and we'll see you all tomorrow.